Hello there, amazing viewers and subscribers, and welcome to a brand new Doctor Who review for today. For this review, I'm going to be reviewing this story. Yes, that's right, I'm reviewing Doctor Who and the Silurians by Malcolm Hulke. And this was the second story of Season 7, starring John Pertwee as the third Doctor. We have the unit regulars with the Brigadier. Not Sergeant Benton, because Sergeant Benton doesn't really come into it until round about the Ambassadors of Death, which is the next story. So what can I say about this story that I absolutely love? But before I get into that, so I just kind of want to show you what I own of this story. So I own this VHS copy from 1993. And as you can see, it's got the paintbrush on it because it was the first time it was released with all 7 episodes colorized. And of course, I own the DVD from 2008. And I watched the DVD version, not the VHS version. So I'll just pop that there. So, Doctor Who and the Silurians. What can I possibly say about this one? It's 7 parts long. It's absolutely incredible. It's absolutely amazing. And I actually quite enjoy it because it is the great introduction to the Silurians. So, not only is it the introduction to the Silurians, it's also introduced us to the Doctor's kind of second trusty vehicle in the Whoniverse. And that is, of course, Bessie. We have the introduction to Bessie in this episode as well, which is absolutely another iconic sort of car. And I'm hoping one day I get to see it in a car museum. I know there's one where she's in, but I would really love to see Bessie in real life. I absolutely do quite enjoy this story. So we open up basically with this power station basically having their energy power drained by John Quinn because he's managed to make like a little cable connection down to the Silurian base in Westmore. And of course, this story was actually filmed up in Derbyshire, just on the outskirts of Derby and of course round about where Chesterfield is. Which is actually another kind of a fantastic place because there is quite a few caves around that end. So what can I say about this story which is actually makes it sound incredible for you to watch? Well, I have to dive into it now, won't I? So we open up with the Doctor kind of fiddling about with Bessie, where we have basically Liz Shaw coming in and telling the Doctor that they have been required urgently by the Brigadier to go up to Westmore. So as they travel up, I mean, you've got the Doctor and, you know, the Doctor and Liz Shaw travelling, Bessie just going up down. I love this little shot of Bessie and the music really helps. So then, of course, when they get into the actual place, I absolutely love John Pertwee for this one because John Pertwee actually makes the perfect induction in this story because when you got them talking and he's there searching his pockets, he goes, what are you looking for? I'm looking for my sonic screwdriver. Do you really think you're going to take apart my equipment with a screwdriver? No, good. This is the £1,000, you know, it's making the profit here. And you're going to try and take it apart with a screwdriver? I absolutely love John Pertwee for this one because he's absolutely incredible. And he does get the mannerisms of the third Doctor spot on in the first story. So for this is his second outing as the third Doctor. He's absolutely incredible. And then, of course, basically we have John Quinn. And, of course, Paige has been ripped out. And just before the story opens up, we end up with these two kind of people going into the caves to investigate. And, of course, they get attacked by the Silurians. And one ends up in the hospital. So when the Doctor and Liz going to talk to him, he's there drawing the cave, like the Silurians. And the Doctor, of course, knows the Silurians because he's a time traveller. And, of course, he knows that the Silurians basically were the original adaptations to the planet Earth, our planet. They went into hibernation when the moon came into orbit. Or, aka, if you follow the rules of Moffat, the moon is an egg. So basically an alien creature came, popped a moon, and that's when it came into the Earth's orbit in a kind of funny little way. But I do try my best not to think about that as much. So, what can I say? I absolutely love the way how this story is paced. I think the pacing for all 7 episodes is actually quite incredible. I don't feel it's very, like, drawn out like I do for some other 7-parters. If I was thinking, like the Daleks. I really think the Daleks is panned out way too much over its 7 episodes. It just fiddles about with the plot. In this one, it doesn't. It just carries it straight through, which is actually incredible. Now, John Quinn, I absolutely think his character was good because he was trying to help the Silurians and basically thinking he can use the Silurians to basically control them, so basically they can have the advanced equipment that the humans need. And of course it does end up with his death. But before it ends up with his death, now one of the creatures end up leaving the cave because it was injured and hid in a farm. So basically it kills the farmer, and of course at the end of part 2, you basically have Liz Shaw basically investigating in the barn, and you have a Silurian breathing behind her, and she just screams, and that's when it ends. And then, of course, in part 3, you got the Doctor unit trying to find this creature, and they're travelling around where the moors is and trying to call it, where basically John Quinn is there with this machine, and it makes a funny sound, and they hear it, but then it fades, and that's because John Quinn's basically found the Silurian and takes it back to its place. So when the Doctor does go into John Quinn's actual apartment, and the Silurians killed John, so John ends up dead, and the Doctor comes in and he goes, "Professor Quinn," and he's there going up to him, and of course as he's there checking if he's breathing, and right behind it he finds the actual gadget, and then of course when he activates it, the Silurian comes behind him, and he does try to make peace with him. I love the fact how the Doctor just tried to make peace with him, because the humans are there on about trying to kill them, and he does go into the caves, he does try to warn them, saying the humans are coming to destroy you, because all the Doctor wants is peace between the Silurians and the humans. That's all the Doctor wants in this story, and I really think it's a great way that the Doctor just really wants peace in this episode. It's a mixture between what the 5th Doctor wanted and the 11th Doctor tried, because the 3rd, 5th and 11th Doctors did try to get peace between the humans and the Silurians and their aquatic creatures, aka the Sea Devils. So all 3 incarnations of the Doctor does try to make peace with it, but it doesn't go to plan, because at the end of the episode, I mean, basically they end up destroying the caves, I mean, and leaving the 3rd Doctor very, very devastated, because he wanted to go back and basically try again and try to reach with them by reviving them one at a time, which I really think the Doctor should have done, but the Brigadier ends up blowing the entire Silurian base.
He must have had orders from the Ministry.
R.I.P. Silurians, rest in peace. But luckily there are other types of Silurians, because they're not really dead. This is just one group or one fraction of the Silurians. But to be fair, the only reason the Brigadier did that is because basically the Silurians did kind of let loose a deadly plague amongst the humans, and of course it led to the Doctor trying to find an antidote, and the Silurians tried to stop the Doctor by basically kidnapping him. But in an fairness, this story, it is a whopping 10 out of 10. It's absolutely brilliant, it's absolutely amazing, I absolutely quite enjoyed it. So yeah, let me know in the comments, what do you think of Doctor Who, The Silurians, the 2nd story from season 7? Do you enjoy it? Do you love it? Do you not enjoy it? What do you think of it? Let me know in the comments. Please do like, subscribe and share, and join me for more Doctor Who content, my dear chaps. Join me for more Doctor Who content, chaps.